So you decided to take the plunge. You're going to Brazil and now you're wondering what you need to pack. Stick around, that in this video we're going to be telling you what you should consider, what you should take and what you shouldn't take in order to make your trip more enjoyable. So let's dive right into it. So the first thing to consider is the time of the year you're coming. Seasons are inverted in the South Hemisphere. Most of you are coming from the Northern Hemisphere. So for example, if it's summer in Europe, it's going to be winter in Brazil and vice versa. So take that in account. Brazil is a very mild to hot type of country, so you likely won't need very warm winter clothes. And the other thing you need to consider is even the time of the year you're coming, not only in terms of seasons, but in terms of month. Because for example, in July you have great weather, sunny weather in Rio. It's a very dry, so you won't have a lot of rain. Chances of rain are lower. But in Salvador, if you're going to Salvador as well, that is the rainy season for them. So you will have two kind of different seasons in the same, which takes us to our second point of what you should consider, where you're going. So packing will hugely be influenced by where you're going, right? So if you're going to Rio, or if you're going to Salvador, or if you're going to São Paulo or the Amazon, combined with the time of the year you're going, you can have widely different weathers for those places throughout the same month of the year. So it's not a one size fits all. Just make sure you look, after you decided your itinerary, that you look for when the weather is going to be good, or rather how the weather is going to be on those places when you go, and then you can make sure that you are taking the right appropriate clothes. Third thing I wanted to mention is what type of activities you're hoping to be doing. Sure, you might be thinking of the beach, or maybe even of some nature, hiking, something like that. So have like an idea at the very least. If you're not already decided, at least have an idea of what you want to do. So for example, if you're going to São Paulo, chances are that you might be going to fancy restaurants or upscale party nightlife, so you might want to take something a little bit more dressed up. Whereas if you're going to Rio, you absolutely need to take your Havaianas with you. Or if you're going to, I don't know, the Amazon forest or doing some hiking, you will likely need to get like a proper hiking shoes, or all of your other gear, or some sort of or hiking backpack or something like that. So take into account all of those three things: the season, the time of the year you're going, where you're going, and what activities you will be doing, and those will mainly inform how you should be packing. Now let's get into the actual packing. I will just show you like how I will be packing. I'm going to be spending 2 weeks in Brazil right now. So the first thing I would say is t-shirts. Like I take many of them. I take one for each day, one of the week, and then I clean them halfway, and that's about it. Jeans, I'll take a pair of jeans. Some sort of like leggings or anything that you feel comfortable walking a lot, because in Brazil you're going to be walking a lot, so you want something like that. I'll be taking leggings. Men take whatever you feel comfortable wearing for walking long distances. Obviously your underwear. I will take just this light jumper with me, because even though it might be hot and outside, you won't be needing this for the most part, unless it's around winter time, which is July, August, as I mentioned. If it is on the height of summer, you actually might feel cold in a few places, like in the metro, in the subway, or in restaurants or things like that, because they do crank up the aircon really much, and sometimes it's really cold, so be mindful of that. Your flip-flops, I will also be taking some sort of trainers, sneakers, just to walk a lot as well. And I will take some flats just in case I want to go out, look a little bit more dressed up. Sunglasses, that's kind of obvious. And I'll be taking a summer dress as well. In terms of personal care, if you're going to be wearing any sort of makeup, or you're gonna take any beard products with you or anything like that, make sure there's something that is like sweat resistant or water resistant, because otherwise, honestly, it's just gonna melt down on your face. Sunscreen, I know you guys know that you need to take that, but take at least 30 or 50 FPS. Sun is strong, especially if you're going during summer, which is December, January for us, so make sure to consider that. Insect repellent, even if you're going to the cities, I guess maybe São Paulo is the one that I can think of that you might not need it. But even in Rio, if you're going somewhere that has some sort of greenery, chances are you will have mosquitoes. Around March and April, when it's the heavy rain season, there are dengue kind of occasions. So like the dengue diseases, it can be quite rife and it's transmissible by mosquitoes. So just take some bug repellent with you. You can also buy in the pharmacies. I'm just saying that in case it is something that you would have your preferred brand. So just account for that. The last thing I wanted to tell you about what you should take, actually not the last, the second last, it's a water bottle. So the reason why I tell you to take your personal water bottle with you is for 3 reasons. One, a lot of places, especially if you go hiking or if you go to some of the more deserted beaches, you might not have the infrastructure to buy water. So just make sure you have something to use that. It is more environmental friendly, so that's a second reason. And the third reason, which means one of the main ones as well, is that water in plastic bottles in Brazil gets really warm really quickly. So unless you're fine with drinking warm water from like a plastic bottle, I would just take some thermic bottle with you so that you can keep your water fresh. Apologies to interrupt your video. I just wanted to mention 2 obvious things that I forgot to, but just in case. Shorts and swimwear. You obviously want to take both of them with you when you're going. It's going to be hot. You probably don't want to go to the beach or to a waterfall or a river. So make sure you take them with you, and let's continue with the video. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is a Type N plug converter. So that is the converter used in Brazil. If you don't really know how to search for it, Type N is the one that you will be looking for. I will link below 2 options for you. One, it's a brand that I like. I have their converter to European plugs, but I don't have the ones from Brazil, but I do like that brand. They have some options with the USB. And I will link another one, which is one that fits pretty much all of the other types of sockets worldwide. So wherever in the world you are, that one is probably going to be fit for you. So just check on the link below and see if that works. And if you are enjoying this video, if you're feeling that there is value here, I would really appreciate if you could give me a like or leave me a comment. I would love to know your thoughts. If I missed something, I think these are the basics, but yes, just let me know below, give me a like, and then let's check now what you shouldn't be taking to Brazil. So the list that I'm going to give you now, obviously you do whatever you want. If you're fine, if you're happy with those, do that. But the reason why I'm telling you not to wear those are mostly because you might be targeted by scammers or by thieves, because you clearly look out of place in Brazil. So if you want to, for example, go out and just blend in, just take notes of these tips that I will give you, and then they will help you. So the first thing that I would say are sports jerseys. So your basketball uniforms, your American football uniforms, hockey, all of those kind of foreign type of sports, they will really look out of place. Not many people wear them. You're just gonna really look like a foreigner with those. If you must wear a jersey, I would suggest maybe a Brazilian team type of jersey. So you can buy them like big brands like Nike, Adidas, all of those that already the jerseys for the teams. But that is the only exception that you would see people wearing the uniforms from Brazilian teams. The second thing I would say is shorts or clothes on the beach. That one especially for men in general. So like most men will be wearing what we call speedos, which is just like male swimwear. It's very normal, especially in Rio. It's completely normal. You will notice There's not a lot of people that will even bat an eyelid if you're wearing those. But if you are like wearing like big clumsy shorts or things like that, or if fully clothed on the beach, you might just look a little bit off. The third thing I would say is sandals. You know, those type of sandals. In fact, I'm not even gonna say anything. I know that Bruno will know which ones I'm talking about, the sandals or even the sandals with socks. Because they are one of the biggest tellers of when someone is a foreigner. So the next one is high heels. Most streets, especially in Rio, are cobble streets, which will damage your shoes. You will also probably walk a lot. You will be doing hiking, so it's just gonna take a lot of space on your luggage and you're probably not even gonna use it. So I would just leave it at home. The exception is if you need it for work, if you're coming on a work trip, or if you're going out partying and you absolutely must wear heels when you're out and about. The next thing would be jewelry. So this is kind of the obvious one, right? You don't want to draw attention to yourself. Brazilian people, we don't really wear a lot of jewelry outside, maybe some very discreet earrings. I wouldn't wear any necklace because they can just be snatched out of your neck. It happens commonly, frequently. It's kind of one of the main things that happens around Copacabana and Ipanema boardwalks. So just be mindful of that. Men with the chains and the watches, also be careful with those. And the last thing would be beach towels. Now, the reason why I say that is we don't really use towels on the beach. We use sarongs, which is a much lighter type of fabric that you take. You're gonna see them everywhere. You can buy them on the beach, or you can buy them on shops, or if you already have one, bring those with you. It's lightweight, it takes a small space, much smaller than towels, so it will even save you some space. And obviously the last thing, honestly, I'm just putting it here, so just so you really don't forget, but take your passport with you. You will need it to enter the country, so just make sure you don't forget that. And I think that's all. So I try to give you the basic of what you need, comparing like what you're going to be doing, what activities, where you're going, and what time of the year you're coming. Alongside with these tips, I am sure you're gonna have everything you need on your luggage. And if you enjoyed this video, check this other one out here, where I talk to you about beach etiquette. Or if you want to take some of these items with you, but perhaps you don't know where to buy, you can get them in Brazil. And I have this other video here where I talk about many options you can get there. See you in the next one. Bye.